I just thought I'd jump on here really quick and talk a bit about what this actually looks like. What are my goals? What are the things I'm focusing on with this whole process? Because I think there's a lot of stuff I could talk about, but I need to take it step at a time and focus on one thing at a time, or else I feel I'm definitely going to get overwhelmed. I'm definitely going to get overwhelmed. Like I'm getting overwhelmed right now. So the first thing I'm going to focus on as my first goal or first challenge for myself is going to be around the fitness aspect of things. Top recommendations that I've gotten and received, and I know internally for myself, is that I need to be working out every single day for at least 30 minutes in some form of physical activity, whatever that is, just sticking to it and making sure that I follow through. And so the first bit that I'm going to focus on is doing that at least 30 minutes, working out every single day for the next 6 months. And I originally had kind of a challenge going with some of my coworkers where I was going to go super hard into fitness and weightlifting in particular, and my goal was to just get as shredded as possible by that 6 month mark by June. And with everything coming up with health stuff, I think that that's a little bit unsustainable or not obtainable with everything else I'm gonna have to change in my lifestyle. I still want to try to push harder for more of that fitness aspect, so I'm gonna do this as my focus. The goal is just to create a chain that's unbroken from January 1 until end of June of working out every single day and not missing a single day. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm excited to get into it and try it. I ordered a calendar today for just putting that up on the wall and crossing a box off and sharing that and having that be the one big focus for the next 6 months. The next part of this is obviously diet and what I'm eating. There's just a whole lot of stuff that can go into that, shifting diet, and there's so much information and so much I can learn in that realm of things that I think that I'm going to try to keep this as minimal and simple as possible to start. It's going to be just understanding my triggers and getting more data and doing more tests to understand what my allergies are. Could be a gluten allergy, to find out what those things are so I can try to minimize that. In the meantime, what I'm going to try to do is no caffeine, no alcohol, no dairy, and no processed foods. I also am going to try to avoid gluten wherever I can because I just don't know if that's an allergy that I have or a trigger that I have yet. So I think minimizing these things is the best that I possibly can do. I'm not going to get into specified, really specific diets yet because there's just a lot I need to better understand about supplementation, and that's a whole realm of things that I know very little about. We'll have to learn more. Then the third piece is holistic wellness. And this is all the other stuff that is supporting fitness and diet. It's sleep, good sleep and good connection with friends and community and reducing stress and making sure that I am doing all that I can to enrich my mind and make sure I'm putting good stuff in just as much as I'm putting good stuff in diet and exercise. I think quality time with friends is really important, getting time in nature. So hopefully this will spur me on to go and do more walks out in nature or spend some time by the ocean. And yeah, so that's the other piece. I think this one will just naturally kind of happen, and I will probably do stints of time or stints of focus where I really get deep into it. One of the things is, for example, sleep. I know I could have a better sleep routine. I know I don't always do the best of going to sleep consistently at the same time. I wake up at the same time every day. I'm pretty consistent with that, but I could definitely be doing a lot better to have a wind down routine and better practice around that. Then the final thing, and I mentioned this a bit in my first video, is that I really want to be focusing on trying new things and having adventure in my life, because I think with all this routine and getting locked into all these different habits, it's really good to remember that you still have a life to live and you still can have a lot of fun. And I always want to try new things and get out there and just remember that life is worth living and trying new stuff. And so I'm gonna sit down later today and write down all these goals and then also think about stuff that I really want to try, whether that's, for example, red light therapy. I've always wanted to really get into that and check that out. I know there's a bunch of benefits to it, and I think that it would be helpful with healing and that kind of thing. So just need to learn and do more research, or hyperbaric oxygen chambers and a bunch of health and wellness stuff I really get nerdy and want to nerd out about. If you guys have anything that you really have always wanted to try, or things that you find really interesting, or anything like that, I'm super fascinated. Please share them with me. I'm always curious what other people are getting into, and maybe it's something I could get into too or learn more about. I'm also super open to like advice, feedback, criticism, whatever you got. I'm really interested. I want to talk about things that are be helpful for other people and also be interesting, and I might learn something too. So please feel free to share all that stuff. Doesn't bother me at all. But if you have things that you want to see, like more tidbits of whatever my day-to-day life is I'm going through, I'm happy to do that, incorporate that. It'll just be something I'll have to I'll have to learn and be better at. So, but yeah, just let me know. Please feel free to give me feedback. I'm always open to it. So yeah, those are the things, and I'll try to put them up here on the side so that it's just a reminder of the things that I'm focusing on, but I'll always try to document the progress I'm making towards the goals that I outlined here. So yeah, thanks for coming along, and I will see you in the next one.